members elected for 4-year terms. The current Board of Education members are Dr. Tom Guernsey, Patrick Grine, Tom Grine, Heidi Kaufman, and Sharon Stannard. There are currently 3 open seats on the Fostoria Board of Education and 8 candidates running. Heidi Kaufman has chosen not to run again, with Patrick Grine and Sharon Stannard running for re-election. The other 6 candidates vying for a seat are Irene Banks, Betsy Bringman, Todd Burgei, Alexis Norris, Ira Turner III, and Thomas Wade. All candidates were invited to participate this evening. Mr. Grine was not able to attend as he had a prior commitment teaching a class on Wednesday nights at the University of Findlay. Mr. Grine has sent a written statement and has asked it to be read by Ms. Stannard when it is his turn to address the audience. And as a reminder to the candidates, please watch our timer for signals as when your time is running out. And tonight, we will begin with Miss Irene Banks.
Thank you. My name is Irene Banks, and I've lived in this town all my life. This school has been the backdrop of my life. All my school years were spent here. I was a freshman when this building and what used to be the old part of the building was completed. My 2 sons attended. I taught and subbed here for 30 years, and now my grandchildren attend here. I still sub here. When I was young, teachers were my lifeline. I wanted to teach to help other young people. All this experience has given me a great understanding of students, parents, and teachers. I'm running for school board to be the voice for these groups. I strongly believe that parents and teachers, and maybe even students, deserve a voice in policy decisions. Besides great insight into the minds of teachers, parents, and students, I bring other skills. I try to keep up with educational articles. I'm an extremely empathetic listener, and I am honest to a fault. I know what teaching entails. I also raised my kids in very difficult circumstances, so I understand what parenting entails. I've already listened to many people, and I know that I think they'd like to see a change. My platform and visions are the same. Some are doable, some are possible. First, I see a school with everyone brimming with pride, but not just because they're told to feel pride, but because they feel validated and important, and I mean everyone, staff and kids. I see a school where administrators are actively involved and seen. I can't underestimate how crucial this is for classroom management and morale. I want to commend Mr. Sprang and Mr. Daring and Mr. Sierra for the efforts they've already made this year. Your efforts and presence have made a huge difference in the atmosphere in the building. Please keep it up. I see a school system where everyone is held accountable for their actions. I see a school board where decisions aren't always made with money as the top priority, but when money is spent, it's solely with the benefit of students and teachers in mind. We have to value our teachers. We have to keep them in the district. The turnover will never lead to success. I see a school where staff workloads are equitable. This is one of the biggest problems I see in the school right now. Workloads are shockingly unequal. I see a school that can boast about greater diversity at the highest level. I see a school board and administration free from conflicts of interest. I'm a firm believer that friendships between administrators and teachers or administrators and board members should not be. It can lead to bad decisions. I see new leadership. Some will argue that experience is important, but with experience comes complacency, and then the sharp edges of right and wrong can become rounded. I'm very concerned that kids don't read. They don't read, and this affects their ability to read. This is partly a societal issue, but I think there are things that we can do. Students need reading skills and the ability to discern reliable sources. My son Damon says that the more limited a person's vocabulary and reading are, the more they resort to violence to express themselves. What sets me apart is my unique life experiences and my genuine concern for parents, kids, and teachers, and education. I know from my own life how transformative an education can be.
Thank you. Next, we have Miss Betsy Bringman.
Hi, I hope everyone's doing well tonight, and I thank you all for coming. My name is Betsy Bringman, and I am a lifelong Fostoria resident. I'm a graduate of Fostoria High School, and I'm a mother to 3 daughters who also attend Fostoria City Schools. I believe a strong Board of Education starts with leadership, and I come from a long line of leaders who have made an impact on Fostoria. My great-grandfather, Meyer Schiff, founded Fostoria Iron and Metal. He served on the board of WFOB. He served on the American Heart Association and was also part of the Rotary. My father, Jeff Schiff, brought leadership to Fostoria through being vice president of Fostoria Iron and Metal, serving on Fostoria School Board, and also serving on the Fostoria YMCA Board of Directors, or Trustees. And my cousin, Dr. Rick Markoff, was president of Sylvania City School Board, and also the president of St. Vincent Medical Center Foundation. I continue this long tradition of leadership through serving on the Gary Family YMCA Board of Trustees as vice president. And for more than a decade, I have sat beside my mother as we have raised large sums of money through our race, Run the Res, to help the fight against cancer. These experiences have helped to shape me into a great leader in the community. These opportunities to serve have given me the experience to tackle problems no matter how tough they are. I care about our community. The Fostoria community has been great to me and my family. Serving on the school board is a way to give back to a community that I care so much about. A strong Fostoria City Schools means a stronger Fostoria. Fostoria is a good place to raise a family, and it always has been. I want to ensure that it remains so in the future by making Fostoria schools strong. Strong schools are the foundation to strong communities. My oldest daughter is in 5th grade, and throughout the years as a parent, I've attended conferences, open houses, art shows, choir concerts, and sporting events that our staff and teachers have organized and hosted. Fostoria has wonderful teachers. I know this because I'm an educator myself. To ensure Fostoria has a bright future, we need strong leaders and higher student achievement to improve our schools throughout the district. We need to retain staff so they can stay invested in our students and our community. In short, no one will care more than me about Fostoria City Schools. No one will have more stake than serving than me. This is where my parents were born. This is where my husband was born. This is where I was born. And this is where my daughters were born. Fostoria is where my future rests and so many of the people that I care about. I am a leader with proven effectiveness, strength, and leadership and communication skills. I know education, and education is the foundation to a better Fostoria in the years to come. I'd like to congratulate my fellow candidates for putting in the time to run and also thank the Chamber for putting this forum together. Please remember, on November 2nd, you can only vote for 3 of us, and I encourage you to make your votes count. Please remember that Betsy brings leadership. And one final thought for the evening is one person can make a difference, and I intend to be that difference for Fostoria City Schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Mr. Todd Burgei.
Good morning, or good afternoon, sorry. I want to thank the Chamber for putting this on. My name is Todd Burgei. Some of you may recognize me because I was tried to run for 4th Ward back the early part of this year. I was beat out, so I decided after the request of an individual to see if I could put my hat in running for school board. I am an outsider. I'm not from Fostoria originally. I'm from a small town called Fort Jennings. It's about 40 miles away from here. I lived and grew up in that town. I know how small town living is. Fostoria is bigger than that small town. I think I mentioned in the city council, there was only 26 individuals in my senior class. So that tells you how small it is. But small town living gives you an aspect of wanting to know everything that's going on. You kind of lose that in a bigger city. And I'm a military guy as well. I left my hometown in 1991, and I went to boot camp, and then I was over in the Gulf. I'm a Gulf War veteran. I came back to the States. I left the service in 2004 and then moved to Columbus, Ohio. And then I ended up coming here. I've been here since the latter part of 2012. Some people have questioned as to, okay, do I have kids that have been through school? Yes, I've got 2 kids that were through this school, graduated from here. My son graduated 2 years ago, and my daughter graduated 3 or 4 years ago now. But that does not mean that I'm not a part of this town. I live here. I want this town to be better. In order for this town to be better, we need to have a good, strong school system. And in that school system, you need excellent teachers, which we have. And we have an excellent administration. And we have an excellent school board. I'd like to be a part of that. I'm currently serving as a senior vice commander of the VFW post over in Tiffin. A lot of you, if you end up coming to the football games, I'm the one that raises a flag every night for the football games. I've been doing that there was a gentleman that asked me how long I was doing this. And I had to think about it. And I've been doing it for almost 8 years now, almost 9. That I enjoy going out here to the football games, not only to watch, but I watch the band, and I also watch the team play, but I'm also there as a visual for veterans. Veterans hold a strong piece of my life, and I want to be able to carry that into the school system as well. Without having veterans, we wouldn't be able to have some of the things we have in this country. Okay? And I think a lot of kids are not able to see or actually know what all went on during the different conflicts in the past. What you read in books and what they teach in class isn't anything that holds a candle to anything that you can talk to a veteran and he can tell you stories about. It'll make your head swim. I want to be able to be a part of this school system. I'd like to be able to to improve it more than what it already is. And so I ask for your vote, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for all coming out, and thank you again for the opportunity. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next will be a prepared written statement from Patrick Grine, read by Ms. Sharon Stannard.
Thank you, Sarah. And I tried to talk Pat into ditching his class, or I'd take his class and he could come here and do the public speaking. But I will share with you his written statement. Good evening, Chamber of Commerce and candidates. I am a lifelong resident of Fostoria. Both my children graduated from Fostoria schools, making them the 5th generation of our family to graduate from Fostoria City Schools. I am a formally trained chemist and currently employed at the University of Findlay as the chemistry department lab manager and an instructor. I am currently a Fostoria City Schools board member and have been for the last 12 years. My experience as a school board member has allowed me to understand what is required of a school board member and what it really takes to be a productive school board member. To be a school board member, you must be willing to sacrifice your personal wants. This may mean missing your child's school event or taking time away from your vacation to attend an important meeting. It means you can't have the same conversations you had before with friends and family. You are now bound by law and ethics to maintain confidentiality on certain areas of business. It may mean people who you thought were your friends no longer speak to you or greet you at the grocery store or church because of a decision you made, or you haven't told them what they want to hear. It may mean you have to stand tough on your beliefs, both within the board and outside the board, no matter how much pressure is placed on you. To be a productive board member has meant to me not coming on to the board believing you are going to push your own personal agenda. This only derails the wheels of the district progress. Progress only happens when you are open-minded and are willing to be a team player. This means sometimes you have to concede to what you want in order to show solidarity with the rest of the board. It also means you have to be informed and prepared for the decisions that you are making. Being informed and prepared may mean having the ability to delay a decision until more information is obtained, preventing a costly wrong decision by the board. Being productive also means respecting the board and the administrative team as a whole, following the rules of the board, not undermining other board members or the administrative team, being transparent and open, participating in debate and providing feedback. The board must function as one entity or it doesn't function at all. I am seeking to serve on the Fostoria City School Board to continue the progress the current core board and administrative team have made. The district is at a point of realizing its full potential due to changes and structuring that has been put into place and that still need to be put in place. I would like to be a part of the continued building that we have started. I said this when I first was elected to the board, and I know it to be true. The local school produces the citizens. The local school makes the community. This is a great responsibility to get it right for the sake of the community. I believe the school board plays a major role in this responsibility with its authority to make district policy. District policy provides the scaffolding that all essential administrative decisions are created from. These administrative decisions direct the course of the district. If the board does not make a commitment to place the children of the district at the center of every decision, the direction the district takes will not be a productive one. I believe I stand apart from the other candidates because of my experience and growth on the current board. This experience has entailed me being a part of placing the district's financial house in the best order it has ever been, weathering and succeeding against major learning interruptions such as a school fire and COVID, providing major upgrades to the arts, music, and athletic facilities without using external monies, and positioning ourselves to build a new school. My growth has been in now being a better board member than I was 12 years ago. This is attributed to always keeping an open mind, continuing to educate myself in all aspects of the district, and as a board member, trying to understand versus controlling others and understanding. I can always learn more. I thank you for your time, and I would greatly appreciate your support on November 2nd.
Thank you. Next, we have Miss Alexis Norris.
Kind of tall, I had to move it up, I'm sorry. Before I begin, I just want to take a moment to commemorate the fact that the last time I stood behind this podium and gave a speech was when I was a contestant in the Glass Festival pageant as a queen. In both instances, I spoke on improvements that can be made to Fostoria to make Fostoria a better place, and for these opportunities, I am forever grateful. My name is Alexis Norris, and I am a candidate for a school board seat this November term election. The skills and experience I will bring to this position is not only a variety as a citizen of Fostoria, but as an educator as well. I began my career as a 4th grader at Riley Elementary as a transfer from Tiffin, and soon fell in love with the school district I would call home even after graduation. In my school years, I participated in a variety of different extracurricular activities: volleyball, basketball, cheerleading, theater, clubs, camps, in every category of music allowable. I see you back there, Mrs. Mads. In those experiences, I took away lifelong lessons and friendships from people more valuable than they would humbly accept. After graduation, I decided to take my child's care skills as an aunt and babysitter and transfer them into the professional field. Unbeknownst to me then, it would lead me to the realization of the void between families and their child care providers, both in private and public care. Despite all hands interchanging the children, people just weren't communicating for the common good. I strive to solve that problem. In order to explain my platform, I think it's imperative to know the powers that be that a school board member can bring. Our purpose in technical terms is to ensure that school districts are responsive to the values, beliefs, and priorities of their communities, but I want to carve out more detailed definitions. I would like to be an active member not just at the boardroom table, but within the daily operations of our schools. I want my presence to invite allyship to our educators and administration through my relatable experiences as an educator myself, be a safe space for the children and community to advocate for themselves, and be a student of the education system, constantly chasing new knowledge that I can bring back to the district. Current projects I'm actively working on are opening administration up to the conversation of a partnership with my current company, Wood County Educational Service Center. This program provides students, kindergarten through 6th grade, with Discovery Zone curriculum, social emotional learning, homework help, and other educational resources. Through grants and a partnership with Connecting Kids to Meals, they are able to provide qualifying schools with not just a snack, but a meal and take-home items for the weekend. I believe that in offering care service from 6:30 to 9 a.m. and 2:30 to 6 p.m. will help offset part of the child care demand we have. Rates range from $4.25 daily to a reduced or even free rate, varying on the income of the family. I could use, as Spencer claimed, there's nothing for the children to do, but it's much deeper than organizing activities and getting people to come. In fact, that seems to be the hardest part. I want to get to the root of exactly why that is. There's been attempts made, the outreach just hasn't been totally efficient in terms of organization and communication. Tonight being a perfect example of the unspoken and seemingly unsolvable issue we have. I was reached out to personally by parents within the district, concerned because as they did want to be here, it just wasn't feasible due to childcare or their employment. And that's at no fault of the organizer, as accommodating to everyone's schedule and circumstances just isn't possible. But there has to be a way to somehow meet in the middle. I believe using platforms such as Zoom will help allow guardians to have their voices heard, even if from their homes or in some fortunate instances, their employers. A social media team comprised of students can act as moderators, helping not only get involved in city operations, but also gain experience that is resume worthy. I would also like to propose a new youth athletic program to the district. This league will be comprised of all existing citywide sports teams with a few new additives, but with strong emphasis on operating under one umbrella instead of relying on its own forces to sustain. A strong network built of people with a common goal of investing in the future of our sports will surely not see failure. Pride has seemingly been an issue for quite some time now and something that trickles down into various different activities. I wish I could say I have a magic wand that will instill pride and confidence within our kids tomorrow, but as we all know, esteem is not something you are just born with. It is something that you build over time, nourish with proper nutrients, and tend to with the required delicacy. If given the privilege, I hope to help the pride in our students grow. Unfortunately, in this instance, I only have 5 minutes to speak on my platform, but I hope on Election Day you'll give me an opportunity to advocate on a larger scale. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Sharon Stannard.
Thank you once again, Sarah. Is it appropriate to say, I'm back? Actually, we were to talk about our background. First of all, my name is Sharon Stannard. My background begins with having two parents who believed deeply in education, working hard, and living each day being and doing your best. My dad always said, Sharon, if you can look yourself in the mirror every day and know you did your best, you should be happy. I received my bachelor's degree from BGSU, my master's from Indiana University, and postgraduate hours from various institutions of higher learning. I truly have gone through every chair: student, teacher, principal, director of special education, assistant superintendent, superintendent, and now board member. With my past experiences, besides understanding the importance of our history and legacy, has been the ability to watch, learn, and be a part of the change created by technology, new discoveries in educational research, the pandemic, our new facilities, and more. And for those of you who are thinking of maybe sneaking out afterwards, if you have not been to our legacy hallway, please go down and take a look at it. It will make you feel so proud to be part of Fostoria's community and Fostoria City Schools. I am seeking re-election as I think the current board is diverse, we respect each other, and district-wise, we can keep the momentum going in a positive direction. We were asked to tell you what our platform is. My first and strongest belief is that the educational opportunities offered by Fostoria schools must meet the needs of each and every student to ensure that every facet, whether it is facilities, transportation, food service, athletic fields, materials, supplies, everything must integrate to support all students. In addition, a board member must obey the laws of Ohio and the United States. You need to respect confidentiality of privileged information, and when I read Pat's statement, it was in there also. Use the information to help you make better decisions, and that all final actions are then transparent. As an individual board member, I have no authority to speak for the board. And I think many times when people come up and talk to you, they're talking to you as a board member, and they don't view you as just that person. You are not a board member until you are seated as the Board of Education. One of a board's responsibility is to establish effective board policies. Boards govern the district. We do not run the day-to-day operations. The board hires only 2 individuals, the superintendent and the treasurer, and they and their staff administer the adopted policies and the day-to-day operations. It is so very important to become informed about school issues that are to be considered at each meeting. As a board member, I attend in-service programs, conferences, study educational issues that will impact my boardmanship and Fostoria City Schools. I encourage communication and involvement of all administrators, all employees, students, parents, and community members to build and maintain a strong school district. And some of these people down here have been coming to board meetings lately, and they know I am glad to see them, because so often we have no one attend our meetings. Not last, but least, make every effort to attend all board meetings and to avoid conflict of interest or the appearance of, and never use my board position to benefit myself, family, or other associates. How will being a board member help you advance your platform? Looking back, since the base of my platform is the best education opportunities for all students, my actions as a board member will revolve around the premise that whether it is the 5-year financial forecast, purchasing a new bus, improvements on the athletic field, having the best materials, supplies, having great classroom program placements for each student, that each and every student will have the opportunity to be successful in their chosen path. What sets me apart from the other candidates? Well, the most apparent, of course, is age, but I don't let that get to me. Age has given me the training, the education, and understanding of what being a school board member really is. Most importantly, I have a fierce loyalty to the students and staff of Fostoria City Schools. My family says I bleed red and black. I will continue to work for you and with you, and should have asked Alexis to lead us in my favorite cheer. Are you ready? Go Redmond.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Ira Turner.
Hello. First, thank Sarah and the Chambers for allowing us to have a voice out here to give everybody, hear us out. My name is Ira Turner. A little bit about myself. I'm 45. I'm married. Lindsay, she's a paraprofessional here at as a pre-K. I have 2 boys here in the school system. They're 4th grade and kindergarten. I've always lived Fostoria pretty much my whole life. I have a few stints where I moved out, but I mean, this is my home. This is where I've always lived. I work at Poet here in town. I've been there for about 10 years. I work one of them crazy schedules, 7 to 7. I switch between days and nights. So I got my blessing from my company, my bosses. They fully support me for this endeavor and doing whatever is needed to, adjust my schedule for this. So I thank them for that. I did graduate about 95. I've always been involved in athletics here. I wrestled, I played football. Even after graduating, I've coached junior high wrestling. I've coached junior high football, biddy, youth football. We had a youth football program. I coached that. I've done biddy wrestling. I did basketball at one point too. Just, I've always been drawn to kids and helping them succeed in whatever they do. I love being around kids, their enthusiasm, their passion, and I like encouraging that and developing that. I did go to school for a year, University of Findlay for a year. It's one of the things that just wasn't for me. And one of the things, graduating from school, you're always pushed, go to college, go to college. That's what I did. That's what you're supposed to do. I like now the new climate of pushing for trade schools, pushing for vocational schools and stuff like that. I love that. And I definitely think that needs to be done because not every kid is going to excel in college. I didn't. It just wasn't for me. And I'm glad I found that before I racked up a huge bill, so it's definitely something that, needs to be encouraged more with these kids nowadays. like I said, I worked many jobs here and there until I found, the company I work for now, which has really been, a great thing. Moved up in it and up to shift supervisor, and still my plan is to go get some schooling and continue moving up in there. So I'm always working my leadership skills and anything to help improve myself and, encourage anybody else to improve themselves too. I don't know, as far as my political views, I've always kind of been independent. I've never been on the side of anything. I'm always one that can see the both sides of everything. And I mean, you can talk to my wife, it drives her nuts. She'll talk about one thing, I'll say, what about this side of it, or what about this? And it's just the way I've always been. I like to dig deeper into subjects and kind of really try to learn more as I can into them. I hate the current political climate of, either you're with me or against me, and I don't believe that. We all have our differences, but there's so much more we have in common that we need to share with each other, and we need to really embrace that more than our differences. Overall, I just want what's best for this community. I want what's best for this school system, these kids. And in my opinion, it doesn't really, in the long run, who gets elected is less important than the community involvement. If we have an involved community, it doesn't matter who's on the school board, this school system will succeed. And that's the biggest thing we need to get is community involvement. Get them in the system with the kids or just anything else that can work. I can't say I'm here with a hit list of things that I think need to be fixed and adjusted. I think they do a lot of great things on the school board. A lot of great improvements. I do, work in concession stands at a volleyball tournament. I don't know how many compliments they got for that legacy hall there. It's amazing. And all the other schools just look at like, that is, looks great. So there's a lot of good things going on, and I want to be part of it. I want to be part of helping it, part of the community voice for this. I want to be here to help support the superintendent. He succeeds, we all succeed. The board, the teachers, the students most of all. That's our job, is to give him everything he needs to work the plans, the goals that he has. And that's what we need to do. I just want the kids I want to inspire these kids with hope for their future. I want them to succeed in whatever they choose to do. Whether it's a factory job or continuing to work your PhD. And then I just want, I want them to leave their legacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have Mr. Thomas Wade.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tommy Wade, and I'm a proud born and raised Fostorian. Growing up, I attended St. Wendland schools. However, I was introduced at a very young age to Fostoria City Schools through my mom, Vicki Wade, who was an art teacher here for 32 years. I was able to see firsthand the amount of hard work and care teachers put into our school system. Through my mom, I formed many friendships with students, coaches, teachers from Fostoria City Schools. It's a place I care deeply about and the school I want my daughter to attend someday. 10 years ago, I moved back from Fostoria from Columbus, Ohio. I felt it was important to give back to our community and join the Fostoria Athletic Boosters. The Fostoria Athletic Boosters plays a key role in raising money for Fostoria High School athletic programs, ensuring our student athletes have the best equipment, jerseys, and training resources. During the past 3 years, I have served on the Gary Family YMCA Board of Trustees. I'm currently chairing the Programs Committee, which is a key partner with Fostoria City Schools, offering summer camp education for elementary students and a teen drop-in center for grades 7 through 12. This teen drop-in center offers Family First Council resources, tutoring, fun activities, and a meal every Monday through Thursday after school until 6 p.m. I have professional business experience in marketing, product development, and operations. Over the past 14 years since graduating from the University of Findlay, I have worked with or for world-leading companies such as Honda, Toyota, and Amazon. Seeing how these companies operate and execute strategic plans while providing a quality product and service is something I'd like to carry over to our school district. I want to utilize my community, volunteer, and professional business experience to help strengthen our Board of Education. I have a vision of Fostoria City Schools being an A-rated school district whose graduates are prepared for furthering their education and career. To accomplish this, I will be focusing on strategic planning, along with improving public confidence, involvement, and support of Fostoria City Schools students and staff. The Board of Education is responsible for setting goals, evaluating progress towards goals, and informing the public about the progress of those goals. I think this is an area where we can most improve and is a starting point. A strategic plan is so important because it shows our priorities and core values. It covers areas such as student achievement, district accountability, safe school environment, attracting and retaining high-performing staff, and public trust. It provides clear direction to administration, teachers, parents, guardians, and students on where we're going and the objectives that need to be accomplished to get us to our destination. While our school board currently has a strategic plan, it is not presented as a focal point. Another key component is for a strategic plan results to be reported. I think it's important to report results on a quarterly basis for transparency and timely evaluation. By not showcasing the strategic plan and results, people resort to using the state school district report card on how our school is performing. Word-of-mouth communication that may be missing key facts or only using their own personal perspective. We can do a better job by being proactive and controlling the narrative by sharing incremental successes and emphasizing our strategic plan with quarterly results. A visible strategic plan with reporting of results is also a great way to market our school district. If you're deciding to enroll your child in a school district, you probably want to see the school district goals, core values, and success stories. It gives a parent or guardian a sense of security and trust knowing what our school district is about and what can be expected. My second area of focus is improving public confidence, involvement, and support in Fostoria City Schools, students, and staff. Through my role as a board member, it is important to solicit and weigh public opinion. It is also important for me to be involved in the community and school committees by being an active participant. It is also important for me to be involved in community and school committees by being an active participant, sorry. Another area I'm looking to improve as is alumni relations. I would like to see more outreach to alumni and offer ways for them to share their success and give back to our school. We can showcase our alumni achievements while providing our students a vision of what they can achieve after graduating from Fostoria City Schools. I'd like to end by thanking the Chamber of Commerce for putting this forum together. All of this is a step in the right direction for continuous improvement of our city. Please remember to vote on November 2nd. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. On behalf of the Fostoria Area Chamber of Commerce, we thank all of the candidates and the Charter Commission representatives for attending this evening. We appreciate your willingness to serve and work to improve our community. We also appreciate the attendance and service of our current council people who are in attendance tonight, as well as the mayor. And we also appreciate the attendance of Superintendent of Fostoria City Schools, Andy Sprang, and we'd like to thank his team for their wonderful hospitality that we had this evening for this event. I just want to let the crowd know that we are videoing this evening, and that video will be made available in the next few days. It will be published on the Chamber website, and it will be distributed on the Chamber's social media channels. And if candidates, if you would like that, if you would like a link sent directly to you, let me know, and we can make that happen as well, so that you can share that. At this time, we invite our candidates and anyone interested in meeting with them to move into Legacy Hall, where we will have an informal meet and greet for about the next 30 minutes, so probably until about 5 or 10 after 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful night.